What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I want to talk about something hopefully people will appreciate or enjoy, and that is why I am bullish on Splinterlands in 2024. Now, I know that's very wide-ranging, and I want to scale it down for you. So before people get excited, I'm not going to be talking about tokens and prices and market caps. You know, at the end of the day, this is a gaming channel. None of this is financial advice. What I am excited about, though, is the gaming side of this. I'm coming to you as a player today, and while I think a lot of the things that I'm excited about can potentially lead to better, numbers, higher numbers for all the Splinterlands assets. Again, nothing is guaranteed, and I'm trying to view this as purely as possible through the lens of a player. So what am I getting at? Well, if you watch the 5 biggest takeaways from the town hall, we had our first town hall of 2024, and I wanted to reflect upon that just a little bit more and the gravity of what was said and kind of the little hints or breadcrumbs that I felt were dropped on there. So the main takeaway, right? And sorry, not necessarily takeaway because we already talked about the takeaways, but like the main theme that has gotten me excited about what is to come, and I want to actually even put a time frame here, but what is to come specifically in the first half of 2024 when it comes to Splinterlands is the player experience. And yes, it's no longer being called new player experience, it's being called player experience. Now, this may come at the expense of land. We even discussed that on live stream and in the last video. But I actually think that it's a top priority. It's become a top priority for the team, and I'm seeing the value of what that could be. So again, just as a player, I enjoy playing the game. I really want to see it expanded upon. I want that emotional connection. I want all these different things. Now, from a land perspective, I know folks are probably going to be like, well, if they delay land or if the focus isn't on land as much as we were thinking that it would be, well, that kind of sucks. I get it, right? Totally. But I maintain that the crux of this game is still the card game, right? The trading card game. The crux of this project is still the trading card game, right? People come in, they want to do their battles, they want to be able to earn, and that is the beauty of the ecosystem. That is what has survived and thrived through all of these past 5.5 years, and what I think will be the crux of the ecosystem moving forward. Now, granted, maybe some other cool things can come in, but keep in mind, I always point to this, but I'll point to it again, right? What is land ultimately doing? You are building more assets to be used in the card game, right? In the auto battler. So any kind of enhancements to the auto battler are things that I think could be of value in the long term and in the future. And with the team really focusing on the player experience in these first 6 months, and right, like that's kind of like the breadcrumbs that I was saying that the team, or the hints that the team was dropping, is that they really want to get this done and situated by hopefully before the second half of the year comes in, because they're talking about marketing and doing all these different things. So what are the main things? Well, obviously yesterday they talked about cosmetics and they talked about the ranked system. And to think that we could get an overhaul of not just the game experience from a mechanical or infrastructure playing, but also an overhaul from a visual, right? Nate wants to create this whole thing. The fact that we could get that within the next 6 months, potentially, and again, this is all speculation. I have no more information than any of you guys. This is all just based on what was said during the town hall. But the fact that we could get that within the first 6 months of the year, and I mean, we're almost pretty much done with January at this point. So hopefully the first 5 months of the year, that's actually really, really exciting, because now we'll take a step back. You put that within the broader backdrop of, the Bitcoin halving in April, the Bitcoin ETF just went live, all these on-ramps, potential capital coming into crypto or Bitcoin and then crypto, right? So everything is kind of lined up very, very nicely. And now that the team is taking this focus on player experience, which I will admittedly say I wasn't as hot on in the beginning. You'll probably find clips of me or videos of me saying like, oh yeah, they're not really going to do much for like me as a current player, right? Like if you go back to the last town hall they had of 2023, December, I think it was like December 18th. my takeaway from that was like, 2024 is going to be kind of meh, right? Because as a player who's been here for multiple years, there's not really going to be much for me. They're going to be focusing on the new player experience and making it easy and better for players coming in, which they are going to do. But I didn't find any appeal in that. Well, all of a sudden, I feel like I've done somewhat of a 180 because, again, maybe it's just the redefining of it from new player experience to player experience, right? So I'm getting caught up in the terminology, but really, it's not just the semantics of it. It really is the player experience, because the ranked overhaul and the cosmetics that could be coming in, building your avatar. I mean, I may not care about the cosmetics and the avatar stuff, but I know a lot of people do. And a lot of people who've been here for a while that are not new players would absolutely care about that. But from an infrastructure standpoint, I definitely like the idea of overhauling ranked. That was something going into 2024 I did not think was going to be anywhere, it was not anywhere on my bingo card, right? They talked about land, they talked about new player experience. And again, maybe they were just kind of like defining it in that way. But we always knew that they wanted to do something with ranked, and the fact that it is now becoming a part of this player experience kind of tells me that the time frame for getting stuff like this done could be within the first half of the year. So, time moves slow, time moves fast. It all just depends. It's all relative anyway, right? So I look at this, I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, well, it's a grind, 5 months. Let's see how the rest of the Q1 and Q2 go. But at the same time, I feel like that, time's going to pass relatively quickly. And so if they're able, and this is the important part, if they're able to deliver on all of these things, and they have not really given us concrete, either like a concrete picture of what they are going to deliver, nor a time frame. So again, I'm speculating here, being a little bit more optimistic about what is to come. If they're able to deliver these things within the first half of the year, and then really dive in to marketing and outreach and land and all these other features within the game that I was waiting for, things like guilds and tournaments, although tournaments might be separate with the DAO. There's just so much that could be done afterwards, after that happens. And so, like I said, it's just getting me personally excited for the first half of 2024, because if they're able to accomplish that, then the rest of 2024 going into 2025 should be pretty awesome. So I just want to put this out there, right? Like my thinking has shifted. I want to be transparent about that, because like I said, I'm calling myself out. Early on, I didn't think much of the new player experience, but redefine it, rebrand it as player experience, talk about a ranked overhaul and cosmetics and all these different things that people have been asking about for a while, and not just minor Band-Aid fixes, but a real, let's level the entire thing to the ground and build something new based on the information that we have, based on what we've seen works and what doesn't. That actually gets me excited. Radical changes, I know, scary probably, right? Could end up being the end of the game if they change it and everybody's just like, nah, I don't really want to mess with it anymore, right? But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think people have a renewed kind of trust in leadership. Obviously, Matt has been delivering very well since he took over, and this vision that he's put out for 2024, we got the preview of it in 2023, the end of 2023, but now having a little bit more meat to it. Again, it's not in its final or concrete form yet, but having a little bit more meat and taking, trying to fill in the gaps or read between the lines here, that it seems like they want to get this stuff done in the first half of the year. That to me is really exciting, because if they can accomplish that, again, that's the key word. If they can accomplish that within the first half of the year, I think summer and second half of 2024 could potentially be awesome, which makes me, which will probably end up being the title of this video, which makes me very bullish about Splinterlands in 2024. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That is all I have for you guys in this video. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.